Sabotage the life you actually want. We all do this. We say we want the new life, the healthier body, the deeper relationship, the work that means something, the version of ourselves we keep glimpsing in quiet moments. And then, the moment we start moving toward it, something inside us pulls in the opposite direction. We pick the fight. We skip the workout. We eat the thing. We sleep with the wrong person. We pick up the phone we promised ourselves we'd leave alone. We stay one more year in the job we already outgrew. We call this self-sabotage. We treat it like a flaw. It isn't a flaw. Before we go any further, hear this. If you keep stopping right before the life you want, the issue is not what you think. You don't have a self-sabotage problem. You have a protection problem. Read that again. You have a protection problem. In her book, The Mountain Is You, Brianna Wiest makes a quiet but enormous distinction. The part of you that sabotages the life you say you want is not your enemy. It is a part of you that is trying to keep you safe from something. The behavior looks irrational from the outside. From the inside, it is doing exactly what it was hired to do. You are not weak. You are protected. Too well by something that no longer needs to protect you that much. Most people think the obstacle between them and their life is external. It isn't. The mountain is internal. It is made of every quiet fear, every old story, every unhealed memory, every belief about what is allowed for you. The external goal, the body, the relationship, the work, is just the trigger that activates the climb. The climb itself is the work of meeting the part of you that has been keeping you small in exchange for keeping you safe. That's the mechanic. The rest of this video is how it actually works. Number 1. Sabotage is a strategy. Every sabotage behavior is solving a problem. If you keep abandoning relationships when they get serious, the sabotage is protecting you from the vulnerability of being fully seen. If you keep starting projects and not finishing them, the sabotage is protecting you from being judged on a finished thing. If you keep gaining back the weight, the sabotage is protecting you from whatever the thinner version of you would now be expected to handle, or attract, or face. The behavior isn't random, it's targeted. It is solving for an emotional outcome that, on some level, you have prioritized over the external goal. Wiest puts this plainly. Self-sabotage is the presence of an unconscious need being met through self-defeating behavior. The need is real. The behavior is the cheapest way the unconscious has found to meet it. Until you name the need, the behavior cannot stop because nothing has replaced it. You cannot quit a strategy that's working. You can only outgrow it by meeting the need it was solving for somewhere else. Number 2. The known discomfort. Your nervous system prefers familiar pain to unfamiliar safety. This is the central paradox of human change. Most people assume they avoid change because change is hard. They don't. They avoid change because change is unknown. The body you currently have, the relationship you currently have, the income you currently have, however uncomfortable, is a known quantity. Your nervous system has mapped it. It has rehearsed survival inside it. It knows the exits. The life on the other side of the mountain is unmapped. Even if it's better, the body cannot confirm that yet. So the body votes for the known, every time, in the moment of choice. And the conscious mind, which thought it was making the decision, watches itself reach for the old behavior with a kind of detached confusion. This is why willpower fails at exactly the moment you need it most. Willpower is a function of the conscious mind. The pull toward the known is older, deeper, and faster. It wins the millisecond before the conscious mind even arrives. The work is not to push harder against the pull. The work is to make the unknown less unknown, one small piece at a time until the nervous system can vote for it. Number 3. The story underneath. Every sabotage behavior sits on top of a story. The story is usually older than the behavior. It was installed in childhood, in a moment you may not remember, by an experience that taught you something about what was safe for you to be. If you were praised for being small and quiet, the story might be that being big and visible is dangerous. If you were loved when you produced and ignored when you rested, the story might be that your worth is conditional on output. If you watched someone you loved be punished for wanting more, the story might be that wanting itself is the threat. The story is rarely conscious. It runs underneath everything you do, like a default, and it cannot be argued with from the surface because logic doesn't reach where the story lives. Wiest's central move is this. You cannot defeat the story by overpowering it. You can only see it, name it, and let it update. The seeing is what releases its grip. Until you see the story, you will keep enacting it and calling it self-sabotage, and wondering why you can't make yourself behave differently. You are not failing to change. You are succeeding at protecting a story you haven't yet seen. Number 4. The identity ceiling. There is a ceiling on what you let yourself become. The ceiling is invisible. It is not made of skill or talent or opportunity. It is made of your private answer to a single question. Who am I allowed to be? Most people have an unconscious answer to this question, set long ago, by people who are no longer in the room. The answer determines the ceiling. Career growth, income growth, body changes, deeper love, more peace, more visibility, will rise until they touch the ceiling, and then they will stop. Usually with a story attached. The market changed. The relationship wasn't right. The new habit didn't fit my schedule. These explanations feel real. Underneath them, the ceiling did exactly what it was designed to do. This is why people in therapy talk about an upper limit problem. The deeper version of the same idea is identity. You will not let yourself exceed who you believe you are allowed to be, regardless of how much you want the thing on the other side of that ceiling. The mountain is the gap between who you are and who you would have to become to live the life you say you want. The mountain is not optional. The mountain is the path. Number 5. Why your brain protects this. Your brain is not optimizing for your happiness. It is optimizing for your survival. From the brain's perspective, the current life is evidence that you survived. Whatever you are doing now, whoever you are now, however limited that might feel, it worked. You are still here. The brain reads still here as success, and treats anything that would change the conditions of still here as a threat. This is why almost every meaningful internal change feels at first like something is going wrong. The chest tightens, the sleep gets worse, old fears come back. The brain is registering deviation from the known and sounding alarms. The alarms are not signals that you are off track. They are often signals that you are exactly on track, and the system is doing what it was built to do when the system is being upgraded. Most people feeling the alarm conclude that the change isn't right for them and retreat to the old shape. The retreat feels like wisdom. It is, biologically, the same mechanism that keeps a frightened animal in a too small cage when the door is open. The fix is not to silence the alarm. The fix is to know what the alarm means, so you can stay in the doorway long enough for the nervous system to learn the door is safe. Number 6. The meeting. Here is the move at the center of the entire book. You do not defeat the part of you that sabotages. You meet it. You sit quietly with the behavior you keep enacting, and you ask it a question. What are you trying to protect me from? Not as a rhetorical exercise. As a real question, asked of a real part of yourself, with the patience to actually wait for an answer. The answer rarely arrives the first time you ask. It is buried. It has been buried for a reason. But if you keep asking gently, without trying to override the part that resists, eventually something comes up. A memory, a feeling, a sentence you didn't know you believed. That information is the entire game. Because once the protective part of you knows that you finally see what it was guarding, it loosens its grip. It doesn't disappear. It just stops needing to act unilaterally. This is the opposite of how most people approach their patterns. Most people fight their behaviors, shame them, try to override them. The behaviors get worse because the protective part of you, sensing attack, doubles down. The same part of you that was trying to keep you safe now has to defend itself against you. The Civil War is the sabotage. Wiest's framework is to end the Civil War. Not by winning, by understanding. The part of you that sabotages was hired by you a long time ago to handle something you couldn't handle then. You can handle it now. The hire can end. But only if you do the actual meeting. Number 7. The climb. There is no shortcut up the mountain. You do not become a new person in a weekend. You do not heal an old story by reading the right book. You do not outgrow a protective pattern by deciding to. The work is slow, repetitive, and largely invisible from the outside. You will catch yourself in the old behavior. You will name it. You will pause. Sometimes you will still do it. Sometimes you won't. The ratio will shift over months, not days. The first time you catch yourself before the behavior fires, instead of after, will be small enough that you almost won't notice it. That moment is the entire summit. People who reached the lives they actually wanted did not do anything dramatic. They did this over and over for years. Catching, naming, meeting, choosing slightly differently than they did yesterday. The mountain is not climbed in leaps. It is climbed in the small spaces between an old reaction and the next one. And one day, often without noticing the moment it happened, you look at your life and realize the version of yourself who sabotaged this no longer lives here. Not because you defeated her, because you finally met her and she finally got to put down what she had been carrying for you. The choice. The mountain doesn't move. You can stand at the bottom of it for the rest of your life, naming the obstacles, blaming the conditions, waiting for the moment when climbing it will feel easier than it does right now. That moment is not coming. The mountain does not get smaller. You get larger, or you don't. The work is the same whether you start today or in 10 years. The difference is the 10 years. Pick one pattern, the one you already know, the one you have already named to yourself in the quiet moments. Sit with it. Ask it what it is protecting. Listen. And then, knowing what you now know, choose what you do next. Once the meeting happens, the climb begins. If this video shifted something, leave it a like. Subscribe to Living in Atoms. We break down the mechanics behind the systems running your life, one at a time, and share this with one person who needs to hear it, because the mountain is sitting in front of someone you love right now, whether they have named it or not. You are not failing to become the person you want to be. You are succeeding at protecting the person you used to need to be.